Hi, this is Toby, and welcome to Gladiolus from Bulbs to Bloom 2020. Now, I know I made the same video of this topic in the 2018-2019 summer period where my Gladiolus bloomed and showed you the progression, and that has become one of my most viewed, in fact the most viewed videos so far as of recording this video right now. It has reached over 12,000 views. So I appreciate all of you guys watching it, and I thank you guys a lot. And I have received some helpful comments about what to do next time. Now I know I didn't record it from the 2019 to 2020 summer period, and I apologize for that, but I did post pictures of it on Instagram, so if you did follow me there and you're watching this video, you wouldn't have missed out on those flowers. But now it's the 2020 to the 2021 period that it's going to be flowering, and this is where I'm going to be planting them. And I know it looks a bit messy. I got my spring flowering bulbs doing this thing there. That'll be another video coming up. But first, we're going to clear this land over this little strip so I can plant my Gladiolus. And we'll come back and I'll show you what I'm going to be doing. Before that happens, I'm going to show you what Gladiolus I'm going to be planting. Sadly, my old Gladiolus, I think I lost one bulb because when I dug it up, it was a bit rotted. But these are the ones that dug up, and you can see already starting to sprout. And yeah, these are just the old ones I didn't know this video. One of them I did lose one. And yeah, but here is another one. You can see you can peek inside. There's a shoot in there. If I just lift this open, shoot right there. There is I think it's a calla lily. This is not Gladiolus. I better plant this soon. I might actually plant that in this video as well, and it'll just be a little side thing. And this is another one. Look at how beautiful these bulbs are. Here's another one. And I'll be soaking these, and I picked up today a couple of new ones. And these are apparently newly introduced. These are just from Bunnings. This is Aftershock. Look at the color of that. Beautiful red and purple. I also got this Flevo Beach. This gold and yellow color. So I'll open those up. I'll soak them. And I'll show you what they look like. So here they are soaking. Now normally I'll soak them for a couple of hours. But because, I don't have that much time today, I'm just gonna soak them and dig the ground up, get some tags ready, and however long that takes, that's how long I soak them. Now, there were maybe 4 bulbs of this. I don't know what happened. There seems to only be 3, and I don't really mind because, with Gladiolus, wherever you plant them, they're gonna drop a ton of little bulbs, and soon I'm gonna have a lot of these. For example, when I plant them here from growing Gladiolus from bulbs to bloom. This place, I know, there's a lot of weed here. I should probably do something about this, but I accidentally left some of the old little bulbs here, and they were here last season, and now they were here this season. So clearly, I'm not have to worry about not enough bulbs because obviously it reproduces really quickly. I also have some little bulbs that I saved as well, so I'm gonna be planting them, and these I'll have to lift and put them in the ground. So now I'll be digging the ground, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here are the bulbs, and in the previous video a lot of you guys told me that I didn't plant them deep enough. Now I planted them pretty deep. This is around 15 centimeters deep, a bit more than that, and hopefully that's deep enough. So those are the red ones, and these two are the orange ones, and those are the previous ones. I saved a couple to plant in a pot so I can get more little Gladiolus bulbs. These were the ones I dug up, and I never really realized how much of a big taproot looking thing they had. This is from the bulb they sprout from, and look at that. I think it's a taproot or something. It's so big. You can just see this one has 2 taproots, and these will just go into pots, and I'll just cultivate them. And before I put these together, I'll grab some little baby bulbs I saved up from before, and these I'll just sprinkle around in here, and they'll grow. So if I just put this little, can't even tell which way is up, which way is down. I think this is, let me see. Yeah, this is definitely up. These will just grow. The little ones, we're just gonna dump in there. I don't need to do anything about them. They'll grow. They'll grow however they wish. Just Sprinkle them in there. And I'm gonna cover them up. I'll put these up on the other two, which are here. They will get potted up, and I'll show you what they look like. So here's everything over there. I planted 2 extra. I can't remember which one was which. And in the little pot in the middle, I put the calla lily there. That's gonna be something a little extra for this video probably. So right now I'm gonna give them a good water. You can see beautiful green leaves. I like the foliage on it as well for Gladiolus. I really like the foliage on it. The texture looks really nice. And now for here, the main bulb, I'm gonna water. I put out a bit more soil. I know it's a bit of a ditch, but I'll add a bit more soil later. But I'm just gonna water it once. I'll wait for the bulbs to start growing. And I forgot to show you guys, but there were already roots, so that's something. And there we go, that should be enough water. And hopefully I'll show you an update when they start germinating. So the Gladiolus came up today, and there's 2. You see there's one right there, there's one right there. And these I'm pretty sure aren't the ones that are new, the ones that I've purchased. These are the old ones. And you can see very firm. Color's not really green because I buried them deeper, and underneath there wouldn't be any sunlight, so that's why it's not developing well. And it's next to these bulbs again, these spring flowering bulbs. They're still in their blooming season. We're gonna get a lot more, but these are gonna start growing as well. And hopefully we get more, and we think I will. Nothing happening in those pots over there, but this we're gonna get a couple more. So here's another update of the Gladiolus, and you can see these ones have started to grow their leaves already. Those 2, I think this was a Flare Beach, and that has started to grow. You can see it's coming out now with the little points. Those 2 are starting to grow, so hopefully we'll get more soon, and I feel like we will. The days are getting very warm now, and I think they will be coming up. So back with these in the pot. Let me move that leaf. I don't know where that came from. You can see this is starting to grow, and same with this. It's just peeking out of the soil, so that's nice. Nothing with the calla lily yet. This is starting to peek out the soil. That's starting to grow more leaves. These are fine. And I just noticed a little yellow ladybird on mine, a little Gladiolus, so that's pretty nice. The Flare Beach, it looks a bit different for some reason. But look at the leaves. You can see it's more curved. If you guys can see what I mean, it's more curved like that. But with the other Gladiolus, you can see how the leaves are straight. So I don't know if it's just the species or the cultivar, the species, or it's just that bulb, but it looks different. And you can see the others have developed really quickly when compared to the ones in the pot. So obviously in the ground's a lot better. But we'll see how it grows. The Gladiolus have picked up a lot, and that's with most of them. You can see with these, I think this is Flare Beach, and you get a lot of rain for around 4 days. And if you look at this, I know it's a bit crowded here, but it shouldn't matter that much. Don't know what this is. I think this could be from a little bulb, but these are picked up. If I show you the leaves, look at it. And I don't think they're as wavy as before, but they're really picking up. Same with the other ones. If I pan back, you can see the size of them. Even the ones in a pot, if I just come around here, they're doing well. The calla lily does have a little tip coming out, so that's good. And the other one is doing well, if you can see. So the Gladiolus are well on their way, and I think we will get flowers. And there was one that I left in the ground from last year, and that has come out as well. So this came out naturally, and you can see some of the little bulbs are chucked in on the side are also coming out. So the flower spikes have come out on the Flare Beach, and you can see that's what it looks like, just like any other Gladiolus flower spike. And the other one, I think it's just the one I have from previous years, that's coming out as well. So those were the 2 I said that I felt there was flower spikes. So it's that one, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get anything for the, what does that say, Aftershock. I can't remember what colors they were each. That one over there, I'm not sure. So this is doing well. I think this guy is gonna come out soon. Yep, I can feel it. And what about this guy? No, not yet. So if you just put your hand between the leaves and just gently press, if it feels firm, that means it's a flower spike. And if you don't feel anything, that means there's nothing there. But I know in a couple of weeks we'll get more and more flower spikes. So because it was a hot day today, I think it was 30 something degrees, almost 35, 36. The Gladiolus, they do tend to limp if it's very hot. So this is a fresh new flower spike, and you can see it just limp. Same with this one starting to limp, and the very tall one. That's normal. When I give it a water in the afternoon, it will just come back up, and I'll actually show you the difference. I know it looks scary. Just don't cut it off. It should still be alive. I remember the same thing happened last year. I gave it a bit of water and it's fine. And they usually do start to flower when it's quite hot. So yeah. So I haven't even watered the plants yet. And the flower spikes have already come up. You can see they're not droopy anymore. And the downside of them being a bit droopy is just that the tips of the little sheets where the flowers are under, the flowers under that will get a bit scorched. But that's fine. The flower doesn't get affected by it. If I come over here, some of them are fine. This is slightly scorched, but if I can just peel that open slightly for you, you see the flower bud is inside, so that's not going to get affected by that much. When I come around, that's pretty good. Just give it a little water. Hot days. That's a lot longer. So you can see in there, the calla lily has actually grown as well, so I might have to repot that soon. And I'll give one of these guys again properly again after I finish recording this, because it's been a hot day. I need a bit more water. So yeah, so another hot day and more droopy flowers, and some of them are actually starting to come out. You can see the nice red flowers. Even these ones are starting to droop, and just remember that it's fine. And this is around 1 o'clock right now, a bit droopy, and today is really hot. Let me just show you the temperature inside my greenhouse, how hot it is. In here, it's around 42, 43 degrees. And since it's under direct sun, it may just possibly take a couple of degrees. So the leaves don't burn, but the flowers will go a bit limp. So again, I just watered the plant, and same thing like yesterday, went from droopy to not being so droopy. And eventually, the more that this happens, the more scorched the sheets will be. And obviously, that's not good for the plant. But at least this year, because I've planted a lot deeper, which I took your guys' recommendations from the previous video, at least they're not falling over and getting scorched, even the leaves. But if I show you this one I think was a reddish purple one, it's starting to come out, and you can see the top is still growing, even though it was bent. This, I shouldn't say afternoon, it was 1 o'clock, so around midday. And again, this is pretty tall, almost 1.5 meters tall. And this, again, newly formed flower spike. You can see the older sheets don't really get affected, but the new ones, they do. And especially this one's not going to be quite long. It's been quite tough for it. But at least we'll get this string of flowers. So today's another day, and you can see it's very, very windy and hot. And even this tall one has kind of fallen over. Some of them, I think, may actually have gotten uprooted. If I can just check. So I think they should be fine. They're just not leaning like that. I better have fixed them up, because even the pot's falling over. It's a very hot day and a very windy day. So that's why they've fallen over. And so I think it's around 5 o'clock in the evening, and the winds have died down. And I've already added some soil, trying to prop my plants back up. But I think even with this, it's bent like in the middle, so I don't think that's going to be able to come back up without a stick or anything. So I might have to do that. So I have to try my best to fix this up. I don't think I'm going to get any more winds. So I'm going to do that now and show you what that looks like. And I haven't watered my plants yet, and I think this is all I can do for now. When the weather just cools down slightly more, I'll start watering them. So I just tied this together, and there we go, standing up again. The rest, there's nothing really I can do about it. That was leaning like that before, but this and that, I can only add soil in the hopes that it will stand up. And I think they did go back to their original positions, kind of. I think this is actually one of the Flero beach, so it's quite unfortunate. But this, let me see if I can see. Oh, there's no flower. I don't think there's a flower in that sheet for some reason. But if I just come over here, this is a flare. Is it? It's orange. That's actually no, it's golden. It's golden. So very excited to see that. You can see this has almost come out, and I think the petals are not that scorched, but that's fine. The purple one's always really good every year, and just look how tall it is after I staked it. So yeah. So it was another windy day, or actually at night, and these plants have taken another toll, or all of my plants have. It was pretty sunny yesterday, if you remember the clip, and then all of a sudden at night, within an hour, we had a very huge gust of wind and lots of rain, which ended around 2 hours later. So you can see some of the flower spikes are like pretty messed up already. This one, it's kind of, yeah, like I can't really do anything about that. The leaves that got broken, nothing I can do, but we got more flowers. We'll start with the purpley red one. Very nice. You can see these all open today. And we can see details, leathery petals. Okay, so I've actually found the original tag, and it's actually Flebo Beach. So either I can't read or I wrote it wrong. I think my handwriting's messy. If I just come back, it's a bit faded, but I think my handwriting's messy to see. So sorry about that. It's Flebo Beach. So I've been saying it wrong the entire time, and it does look similar if the wind would stop blowing on it. I mean, if it had a dark background and light shining on it, it looked pretty much like that. So although it doesn't really show the red throat in the image, which is more present in real life, if you can see that red, almost red throat. Still more colors to come. Nice little comparison right there for you guys. And again, this had for I think 2 or 3 years, and it's pretty good. I like this color. Pretty unique. So more blooms, the one that's kind of on its side. You can see more of this purpley red bloom. The other one's almost finished. The Flebo Beach has half of it finished and half of it still open. And even the weird curly flower spike could open soon. It's still growing. And this one has started growing flower spike as well. This one has. This one hasn't. The smaller ones obviously won't. Even the one in the pot has started growing one. So yeah. So another update, and see the curled flower spike. The flowers coming out. Flebo Beach, and a yellow flower one. So I think the flowers are actually slightly smaller on this. If I put my hand next to it, look at that size. And if I come over here and we look at that size, so that's slightly bigger than this, but this is a nice yellow color. Looks like those flowers if they weren't wilted. Yeah, there's one more flower there. That one's finished. And when they finish, I usually just leave the flower spikes on. It doesn't really matter. But yeah. So here are the bulbs again, and the Flebo Beach is coming to its end of its bloom. The yellow one still has quite a bit to go. Looks really nice. All those smaller blooms looks really nice. Another yellow one over there. If I can put my camera around. Hopefully that's capturing. I can't see, but hopefully you can see what's going on. The Flebo Beach in the pot is also beginning to show signs of flowering, and the calla lily, which I was supposed to repot but I didn't get the chance to, has also bloomed. Nice huge leaf in this. Look at it compared to my hand. And that's the bloom. You can see, very interesting flower. So that's a little side thing for this video, but again, these are the main subjects. Another update of the bulbs. Calla lily is starting to fade, or actually darken a bit more. I think it's just about to go out. And there's another Gladiolus open here. This looks kind of like Flebo Beach, but I think this is one of the original ones I had. So I don't think it is that. And I also got a Lilium here that has bloomed. quite a big flower. If you can see, nice red petals. I think I might have just. Oh, never mind. These kind of. I don't know what these are. Is that pollen? I think these are the anthers. They spin around. That's very interesting. But again, most of them have already gone out. Seed pods are forming. You can see that one's growing. Aftershock hasn't really done much this year. So maybe next year. The one in the pot is kind of, I don't know what happened. But everything else is fine. It's just because it's been raining for 2 weeks. The flower spikes or some has bent over, but yeah. So it's actually been raining a lot. It's been raining for at least 2 weeks. And this is the first, well, another rare sunny day we got. And I just need to harvest some Gladiolus seeds. So if I come over here, these are seed pods. If I pull this apart, you can see there's, well, it's not really. I don't think these seeds are actually viable. They look a bit flaky, but I'll keep them. So, oh, just dropped a bit of it. That's fine. So I picked it off, and here they are, the seeds. But the one on the Flower Beach, they were a bit moldy and rotten, so I didn't take it because it's been raining a lot again. So that's fine, we'll sort out the bulb. This is just extra. I'll see if it'll actually grow. I'm very interested to see if this will actually grow. And so far no more blooms. There's this one, the one that I left in the ground. That flower spike is coming up. Don't think anything's gonna happen with the aftershock. That one's already starting to die back. So yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen with those this year. Those still look quite small, and again, when I planted the bulb was still quite small, so I could explain why. But we're gonna just see what happens. So right now we're in the middle of summer, and all the flowers are finished. This one was gonna come out, a pink one. It just never made it. It sort of grew the flower spikes and it just died back. And everything else, I don't know why some of them are dying back this early. I usually get them dying back a lot later. Sometimes last year, some of them just didn't die back until halfway through winter. So I don't know why they're dying back in the middle of summer, but if they die back fully, I'm gonna have to lift the bulbs. The ones in the pots are dying back more, but the calla lily is doing fine, but those are dying back more. And look, if we just look at this, look how much it's died back. So once a lot more of these die back, I'm gonna start to have to lift them. So majority of the Gladiolus have died back, and I think because it's around the end of the season, we've had a bit of rain for around a week. And if you remember all those floods in Australia, that's what happened, and a lot of these wolves died back. I don't know if they've rotted or not in the ground, and this is basically a couple of days after that, and I just let the ground dry out. So we're gonna remove these Gladiolus, and so I'm gonna start. You can see these are literally dried up. There's some still green, but that's not gonna really matter too much. If I pull it out and the bulb looks big enough, it should be fine. So I'm gonna start digging and I'll show you some progress. So I've got one out so far. I can see some of them. I don't know what this was, if that was the old bulb where it grew out of, but this is rotten to the core. Whilst you have some here that is still growing a bit. You got some of the new little bulbs. I just want to get it out before it gets to this stage. So you can see that's definitely big enough to survive till next season. So we'll clean that up later. We're still excavating. So here's an update of the progress. We got some good ones, some bad ones, some semi-good ones. This one's partially rotten. Like if I peel this, you see it's partially rotten. But I think we can fix that, and we'll just continue digging. So I think these are all the ones that we could find. I've dug the ground, and I don't think I can find any more. There's some baby bulbs here. I'll wash those as well. So now I'm gonna tip the pots. So if we come to this one, the plant is dead, or it's died back. I'm gonna just tip it upside down. The roots. Might get something to tease it with. See, the bulb is right there, and if I look at that, I think that's an aftershock. Not aftershock. Flavor Beach. So let's shake that off. Beautiful. That there. Now let's look at the aftershock, because this one died back fairly early for some reason. nothing in here. So I think the bulb may have died. Yeah, I think it may have died because it died back too early. But I don't even see the remnants of it. So these are all we have. I have the small ones later, but first I'm gonna wash all of these up. So I just finished washing them and I removed some of the skin on them because the insects could hide under them, and most of them are fine. If you're wondering what these flat looking ones are, these are the ones we planted at the start of the season, and they would, if I look at this one, they would probably go on the bottom of something like this, like that. You see where they break off? It's probably not this one, it's probably some other one like this. They just attach the bottom of the bulb, and that's the old bulb growing the new bulb. So I don't know if these will still grow. Like that's a new one. But if you look at this one on the side, and this one looks like it hasn't done anything. So I don't know if these will grow or not, but these are still saturated with water. We're not gonna put it under the sun to dry it. We're gonna leave it here, probably here, and we'll wait 2 or 3 days until the bulb is dry. And again, we're gonna apply some cinnamon. So that's gonna be interesting, and we're gonna just wait till these bulbs. So it's time to pack the bulbs away for storing, and if we just take one real quick, you can see it's dried. It's dried. When you touch it, it doesn't feel wet. The inside of it's dried. Take the biggest one. You can see it's dried for around 3 days. So there's still some little bulbs in there. It's fine, we'll keep it intact. So what I like to do is get some cinnamon powder. This is the stuff you eat, and it really works as a natural fungicide, and it works on my other bulbs. It if plants rotting, you can put a bit of this on it, and it helps prevent the rot from spreading. It's really useful. So with bulbs, so first we're gonna just get a bag, and I usually use a plastic bag, oh not plastic, paper bag, like that. And what I'm gonna do is get the bulb, or I can just be, if I want to be extra, I can just sprinkle it all over the bulb like that, just briefly covering them, such as this one. I just quickly, or in fact I can place them in here in the bag and sprinkle the cinnamon in the bag. So I'll put the mixed ones in here along with the dried up old growth bulbs. I can now pour some cinnamon straight into the bag. You guys can see, pour a good amount. And this will help absorb the moisture and the natural fungicide. Now give it a good shake. Tip it around, give it a shake. Just so that the bulbs are pretty much all coated in that cinnamon, so nothing will rot. Same with the other ones. So if I, see, that's one of my old bags. I'm gonna put the aftershock in here. There's not that many bulbs, we don't need that much cinnamon, just a bit. In there, that should be sufficient. And give it a shake. And finally, the Flavor Beach, we're stuffing it in there. Oh, there's a small bowl, we just put it in here as well. Bit of cinnamon in there. Give it a good shake. And keep these just indoors, in your house where it's dry. That reduces the chance of rotting even more. And next we'll move on to the small bulbs in that big container. So this is the calla lily, and those little extras. So we're gonna pull this out, it's already died back. Some bitter roots. But there's tuber there. We'll clear that later. Here's the bunch of little bulbs. You can see it's all starting to, a lot of them died back, they're all starting to die back further now, so it's time to just tip them over. A lot of roots. So we'll give that a tease and we'll come back. So here is what we got. If we take the calla lily away, we got, these are the small bulbs, or something probably around this size or slightly larger from last year. And you can see not all of them's growing that big, some of them's increased slightly, and some of them's increased by a lot, and they have produced little bulbs as well. So again, I said if you give these to your friends, they can start their own little Gladiolus collection or something like that. So now what's going to happen is we're going to just wash them like what we did with the larger ones, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here they are, all washed. They haven't been dried. You see they're still wet. And again, I said that if you have any liquid fungicide, you can soak bulbs in. I'll soak them right now after you just washed them. But if you don't, I'm gonna let it dry for probably 2 or 3 days. These aren't that big, so it'll dry out slightly quicker. And it's not as compacted, so it should dry out fairly quicker than them. And what's gonna happen is once they dry out, we're gonna store them the same method. And with the calla lily, you can see I didn't scrub that hard because there are buds on the surface, and if you break those, they may not grow next year. So, or next season, I should say. So they're gonna stay like this, and we're gonna wait till they dry. So it's been a day, and the bulbs have dried because these are smaller. You can get air through them much more. It's not as cramped as before. You can see it's dried. Again, we're just gonna place them in this bag. This is an old bulb bag. I can show you this. See, it's still got the cinnamon coating. So we're just gonna place these in. And again, with the cinnamon from before, we're just gonna pour some in. What is it? Oh, it's ripped it. That's fine. If it rips a bit, it's fine. Just give it a good shake. Let that cinnamon mix. Accidentally rips, we can always tape that up. It's fine. Plus, if we're folding it like that, it's not really gonna matter. And the calla lily, we'll just add it in here. So here it is. The bud's still intact. Put that in there. Sprinkle that in. Good shake. And that's it. So these are actually the spring flowering bulbs. And if you don't believe me that cinnamon works, we're gonna just quickly grab a bulb. You see it's covered in cinnamon. It kind of comes off, but you see no rot to the bulb. It's smooth, it's clean. It does dehydrate the outer skin a bit, you can see, but that's no worry. You see some of the outer skin comes off because it dehydrates it a bit. That's fine, as long as the inside of the bulb is still firm. Like squeeze it, it's firm. It's not soft and mushy where you press in, dips in. It's fine. Even if I bring out, I think if I can get my jonquil stack, you can see the outer skin, it will come off because it's dehydrated from the cinnamon. You can see some of the skin peels off. You can see it's a bit dry, dehydrated, but it's still firm, so no rot, and proves the cinnamon works. If I just go to the ranunculi, so many of them in here. Again, same observation. Dehydrates it a bit, but you can see it's still healthy. It looks a bit dehydrated, but since we're planting them soon, when we soak them in water, instantly they'll swell back up. So that's how you restore bulbs. So I hope you enjoyed this video about growing Gladiolus from 2020 to 2021 season. Here's what's remaining. It's the ditch. We're probably gonna plant spring flowering bulbs next. I don't know what bulb video is gonna come after this. It may be the spring flowering bulbs, or it may be the autumn flowering bulbs. I think it may be the autumn flowering bulbs first. This one's already dead, or the flower spike has died back. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll put a compilation of photos next, so you can see some of the flowers we got this year, and maybe the bulb harvest as well. And if you want to stay in tune after the video, you can see all the bloopers and all the outtakes I recorded in one compilation. There are plenty of them, I assure you. It wasn't too bad. It was probably around 4 or 5 clips, but you'll see. So if you want to stay after the video to watch that, feel free. But thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hi, this is Toby, and welcome to Gladiolus from bulbs to now. The Gladiolus are doing well, and talk about speed. Look at these. What was I gonna say? So you can see the flower spike is coming out, and this, I think, this is a Flero beach. just like any other Gladiolus flower spike, you can see flowers are alternating. You can see. So it was another windy day or night, I should say. Yesterday. What? So here are the bulbs again. This Flavor Beach is about to go out. It's starting to fade, or not fade. So I apologize. Well, wait for that to go. So here they are all washed up. I removed some of the skin from it because you can see these skin, they just peel off like that. See how they just come off. And sometimes you could get insects or something living under them. When I was washing sometimes some what?